name is Valdez. So with me today is Wolf. He's back from Japan.
I'm back.
You're back.
And it's been a good day to come back to. I literally flew in yesterday in the afternoon. And, got some rest, and I'm so happy to be back commentating Starcraft.
Yeah. Starting off with a great day, KT able to take down Spen, who give them their first loss. A win that KT really, really needed. But we're about to jump into CJ:Entus versus MVP. MVP not doing so well, 0-2, -3. And CJ:Entus just winning the last round in prime position. They have so many good players right now. And starting off with herO, I don't see how you can lose this one, man.
Well, herO versus DeParture might be like one of the biggest skill disparity games we've ever had in Pro League. Like, I can't even think of another one off the top of my head.
These are the ones that we always used to get back in the day you were talking about that you're glad are gone. But it just so happens that, you know, these two players matched up this way. I mean, herO was just able to take a best-of-5 from Maru. And DeParture, as far as I know, not really able to even make it into any individual leagues at all. So
I think
there you have it.
I think it would be a big mistake for DeParture not to be aggressive on Coda, man. You just got to do something.
Oh, yeah.
I guess before we talk about that specific matchup, let's talk more about the bigger picture here today. There's been a lot of players that have, you know, just basically like have had their moments but haven't really soared. Like Gumiho, for example. Sky has had his moments where he's like really, really good. He's playing really good, you know, TVP and showed some great mech play and you know, having some solid TVT, but hasn't really been able to totally break through completely. So I think that today's going to be one of those days where we could see some good games, even though CJ is very heavily favored going into this one.
Yeah, I'm especially looking forward to that second matchup. You're saying Sky versus Gumiho. I think that's going to be a great one here. Just a TVT between those two players. You know, both players known to play mech as well. Yeah. Could have like a very long, very awesome TVT there. I think, you know, get through this first game, watch herO bop DeParture, and then move on. You know what I'm saying, man?
Yeah, I know absolutely what you're saying. So, taking a look at the matchups here, CJ:Entus players, all 4 of them getting upwards arrows. Panic getting an upwards arrow on MVP, but he's going to have a tough time versus Hush in Hush's best matchup.
Yeah, it'll definitely be a hard time. But at the same time, Panic is doing really well for himself. I think it's going to be a bit of an even one there. I think both the second and third matchups here are going to be very even. We'll see what Losira can do in his EVZ against Biel. Biel just an incredibly strong player these days. Losira took an 0-3 against Hyun in the Star League Challenger. So, you know, I think he's also lost his EVZ recently in Pro League, if I can remember correctly. I don't remember who the Zerg was, but he's definitely not really on the same level as Biel. I'm really favoring CJ:Entus here. I'm really excited to see Game 2 and Game 3 specifically. So,
yeah, I mean, those are definitely big ones for me. Will MVP's entry be successful today? Will CJ:Entus continue their winning streak versus MVP and everyone else? We'll see.
We got to start running some viewpoints, Wolf, because I don't know.
Yeah,
I
you and I used to do that.
Better, like.
Yeah. You and I used to actually translate them back in the day, which was really fun. And
yeah, it was pretty interesting. But guys, we're about to jump into our coach interview. Let's see what both these guys have to say. I always love to hear from both these coaches, actually.
Same, so do I. Especially Coach Park, my favorite coach.
이영섭 감독님 안녕하세요. 안녕하세요. 자, 먼저 박용훈 감독님께 질문하겠습니다.
We're going to talk to CJ:Entus coach first.
CJ:Entus와 참 연패라는 것은 굉장히 잘 어울리진 않습니다. 지난주 한번 제동이 걸렸는데 연패에 대한 부담감이 좀 있으실 것 같아요.
CJ:Entus never had a consecutive losing record, but they lost the match last week. Do you feel the pressure to win 2 times in a row? But that's my job as a coach, to feel the pressure. But I never imagined myself and my team losing 2 times in a row in Pro League. And he tried to show a lot of confidence to his players, and get it to rub off on them going into their games.
덤덤한 모습을 보여주셨는데, 자, 이영섭 감독에게는 참 본인 감독으로서 더 잘 아실 것 같아요. 3패로 라운드를 시작하면 굉장히 어렵잖아요. 지금 1, 2라운드
It's going to be really difficult to start the round with 3 losses.
팬들도 그 부분에 대해서 굉장히 걱정을 하고 있는데 감독님도
A lot of fans are worried for MVP. because of that fact, especially going up against CJ Antis in Game 3.
필승조가 없어가지고 어느 선수를 내더라도 이기고 지고 할
We
수
don't
있다는
have a really
생각이
strong
너무
ace card
있어서
anymore on our
그
team,
부분이 좀 되게
because
불안한
Losira
것
kind of
같아요.
fell off.
이영석 감독이 지금
Seems like the condition is not so good these days, and the players need to perform really well today in order to win. And he's concerned about who is going to show up today for MVP and be that ace card to bring them through for the victory.
선수들한테 닥달한다고 해서 선수들이 이길 수 있는 것도 아니고 이기라고 한다고 해서 무조건 이길 수 있는 거 아니잖아요. 그래서 열심히 준비한 선수들 믿고 있고
My job is limited, and the players have to be the ones to practice in the team house, and he just needs to spread his own confidence to the players and take care of their mindsets and help them practice. But the players are the ones that play the games, so they're the ones that have to do well today.
예상한 대로 좀 나오긴 했는데
Toya trying to send a message possibly to his players.
1세트 제외하고는 다 비슷한 선수들끼리 이렇게
I kind of predicted CJ's entry pretty correctly. There's a lot of mirror matches today.
좀 하늘의 뜻이 좀 필요할 것 같아요.
That's not actually what he. That's not exactly what he predicted would happen. So I don't know if he did predict well actually. But looks gonna have to be on our side today.
이영석 감독님의 인터뷰 감사드립니다. 오늘 시즌2와 MVP의 멋진 경기를 또
hitting
기대해
that
봐야겠죠.
PvP with Hush on Deadwing, like you would most likely end up predicting that, right? Maybe they were expecting herO would come on Deadwing instead, but that just didn't happen.
Possibly.
I mean, I think herO might be better than Hush in PvP, even though Hush is famous for PvP.
But at the same time, I kind of feel like MVP wants those mirror matchups. You know what I'm saying? Because especially in PvP and ZVZ, you can really throw a wrench into your opponent's play, especially if they're playing greedy. And, you know, just come in with a very aggressive build, take them off guard, like get a build order win, stuff like that. Not so much in TVT, but it does exist. And so for Choya's team for MVP, I kind of am happy with the fact that they got 3 mirror matchups here.
Yeah, it's funny because Choya did say, like, I hope luck is on our side because of these mirror matchups. Well, you make a great point, very valid point. Like, there's a lot of chance in mirror matchups about tech choices and openings that can lead one player to be greatly ahead or, you know, perhaps behind.
I think it's going to be up to the CJ team to identify themselves as better players in certain matchups and just try to play a bit safer going into here, especially for herO. This guy, he is on top of Pro League right now. He just defeated even Maru 3-2 in the individual league over at SSL. So this guy is on top of the world right now. He hasn't played too many Zergs in Pro League as it turns out, but still pretty good in the matchup.
Yeah, really, really good. And I mean, this guy just in general is a very safe, careful player. This matchup is, the longer it goes, oftentimes a tough one for Zerg, and we do see a lot of Blinkstalker, heavy, you know, Blinkstalker-centric armies.
And he's so good with Blinkstalkers, of course. I mean, it's herO.
Yeah.
His icon in SSL was a Blink symbol. So, like, there you go. There's his icon.
Taking some time to meditate here.
Yeah.
Oh, DeParture, this guy's got a wall to climb, man. You gotta climb the wall like that is to the north in Game of Thrones, man.
Yeah, man.
With
Except this time, it's got like giant spikes, and there's dragons flying around the wall.
There's dragons, and like he forgot his pickaxe.
He's trying to climb it with his hands and feet.
He needs to. That's what's one opportunity he has, right? To try to climb that wall. Another idea is to try to sneak in the back door. And I think that's actually the better plan, is to try to do an early pull maybe on Coda, small map, 2-player map, take a hidden base, try to do some shenanigans like that. Man, if he's Spineclaw rushes in this game, I'm not going to blame him, okay?
No, man. I'd be like, yeah, go ahead. Do it. Show us a fun game here. He's got a lot ahead of him, as we have said. And I think we're going to take a look at the predictions here before we go into the match. The map is Coda, as we were talking about a little bit. 2-player map, but let's go into the game right now. It's going to be herO versus DeParture for game number 1. Up here in the top left, in the yellow, our Protoss player from CJ Antis. It is herO.
Yep. So, just talking about winning round 2's first place and continue to cheer for him. But over here, in the teal, DeParture. Isanghaja. I don't actually know what that means. It's like, let's be weird. Like
that's one meaning, yes. But when I saw that, I was like, there's no way.
You can't.
Let's be weird.
I don't think you can actually. Can you change adjectives like that? I don't think you can. Like,
no, you can't. But
that's like what came to my head. I don't know what Isanghaja means in this case.
Well, Isang, it does mean like to go up, I guess, in a way.
In a way.
To, I don't know, like get bigger.
It could also mean like at least. Like it could mean like you can only go up from here, I guess, in a sense, maybe. I don't know. I think that's the
something
idea.
Like that, yeah.
Like obviously he's going through a hard time, but like you can get better. You can go up.
The sign means like we've hit rock bottom. Let's just play like that.
It's like the sign. The sign just said, if you lose, no one's gonna think it was weird. Like no one's gonna be disappointed.
Yeah. This is just straight up MVP. Like. No, that's too mean. MVP's a decent team.
The GG girls had
now,
to draw.
if we're talking about Prime, that's a different that's a different situation.
The GG girls had to draw straws to see how to make the sign for this one for him. And it's like just trying to, you're gonna win, you're gonna do fine. I don't know about this. I don't know how much.
That's what it says on the back. Like only she can see it. She's like, I don't know.
I don't know how much the GG girls know about StarCraft, but I think they know enough about DeParture's stats to know what's going on here. So. We're going to see a gateway expand, gate Nexus core, fake cannon, see if DeParture overreacts. Doesn't look like it.
Seems like he won't, yeah.
So that's going to play it safe.
Okay,
well,
there we go. Some more drones coming down. But it's not going to be the end of the world.
Just a quick cancel. Nexus goes up. Now he's going to come scout the main.
Yeah. I want to talk about herO's PvZ a little bit before this gets started. He was very known for being very good against Swarmos play for like the longest time. He would always come out on King Sejong Station because all Zergs would play Swarmos on that map, like almost 100% of the time, unless they were doing something funky. But now Swarmos are out of the game, and it's kind of gone into this weird kind of meta where Protoss are being very, very passive. You know, maybe a little bit of War Prism play, but you're making a bunch of Stalkers, you're making a bunch of Sentries, trying to force fights on your ground. Maybe if you want to play like Classic, you add in some Immortals and even Storm and like Archons and stuff. But I feel like for where the meta is right now for PvZ, I would kind of favor like someone like Zest or Parting up against like any Zerg just in this matchup in general over herO. But at the same time, I put him in at like a solid third. He's still like very, very strong in this matchup. He knows what to do.
His Blink Stalker micro is incredible. And yeah, I would definitely say Parting. This is like Parting's world. Like we're living in the Parting's ideal meta. And even
like
Parting,
if there was only PvZ, Parting would be the best Protoss in the world.
Yeah. And,
for sure.
And Parting has even said in interviews, he knows it's hard for Zerg right now. He thinks Protoss is really strong in this matchup. A drone may be misrallied here across the map. We'll have to wait and see what's going on with that. But yeah, definitely sending it back now. But a third hatchery does come down here quick. Well, not that quick. At the 5-minute mark, like a conservative hatchery timing as he is going for that faster Zergling speed with this. But you know what's interesting about the meta, just going back off of what you were talking about, because you raised some like very serious concerns for this matchup right now. The Swarmos was a unit that produced free units, the Locusts, and they could counter these waves of units. But Blink Stalker, in a way, is very efficient because if you micro it perfectly, it's almost never going to die. Before we talk too much more about this, what is that?
Yeah, what is that burrow coming up here? He's already got a Zergling in position to try to block that third base. That is one way you can use burrow. It's also very good against blink pressure. You get a bunch of roaches. You can just burrow them all, and even go for burrow movement a little bit later on. It's great against force fields as well. Just getting it pretty early. That's the funny thing here.
Yeah, and with the burrow this early with no Roach Warren, that begs the question, is it literally just to stop a fast third? Does he expect herO to add a fast third this quickly, that much, that he's going to go for this? It's not a super expensive upgrade or anything like that, but you expect when you see burrow like this, you might think, oh, he's going to do some sort of crazy roach push, or he's got some sort of other, insane plan. He's going to do Baneling landmines or something in another matchup, perhaps. But in this case, I think it looks like it's just going to be for that link. And as soon as it's done, he's selected it, and he burrows it.
Yeah. And the other funny thing about this is herO you know, back in the Swarmos meta, and even now, he's so good at. Well, hold that thought. Look at this. He is going to go for that fast third, and it will be blocked by the burrow coming up like just before this probe even gets over here.
And he doesn't have any detection.
Yep. He's going to either have to put that in another place. Well, actually, he can't even put it at the other third because there's everything over there too.
Yep. And he's going to have to make a cannon before he can make this. This is a really good study on herO's play about how late he likes to get robos because he likes to go into that +2 in the blink first. And so DeParture is reacting to that and playing this very, very smartly.
Very smart. This is really cool to see.
Man, just today we were seeing so many really cool specific strategies. Uh-oh, double Roach Warren. Burrow movement Roaches incoming, or is that a mistake? Well, I'm
going to lean on the side of a mistake.
Me too, because they're not timed up with each other for this would actually be good.
It's still coming along about halfway.
We'll see if he keeps it, I guess.
I think it was herO actually recently that went for double Twilight Council against Maro, and he still won the game, something like that.
Yeah, I remember that game. I can't remember his exact opponent, but the very late third Nexus coming out after 9 minutes here for herO, and he does have a large Sentry Force, but it's not large enough for him to actually go for an attack right away. The second Roach Warren remains unused here. And there it is. So he is actually going to use both of them. We don't necessarily know if that was intentional or if he's just like, well, I might as well. Sheth famously got double upgrades once, and then in his interview he was like, oh, it was a total accident, but I just rolled with it.
You know, I suppose it is going to line up pretty well here. Burrow movement is going to finish once that +1 finishes. He's going to get a lot of Roaches out of here. He also starts a very late speed. We could just see very aggressive Roach link pressure. He stops at 64 drones. It's not a low number, but he hasn't made a single drone for like the past minute. So we'll definitely see some kind of big pressure coming in here.
Yeah. We certainly will. This is really interesting. I wonder how hero's going to respond. He has only one observer on the map, and he does have several cannons at his third base. At his natural, actually no, he only has one cannon. I thought he made two. At his natural, he has no cannons, not even a single one. This could actually be very deadly.
Yeah, look at herO's army right now. He's got one Immortal to help out against all of those Roaches. Look at those Roaches.
I don't know, man. I think this might kill. His whole army is basically comprised of 8 sentries.
Yeah, and look at this. Burrow movement is going to finish right now. herO is going to see it. But those Force Fields are not going to help out at all.
Here we go. This is going to be something out of herO's nightmare. The Roaches burrow underneath those Force Fields. Now running up the ramp. They're going to pop up a second wave of Force Fields and a Time Warp to slow this down. That Immortal's trapped outside and gets popped immediately. Second one's out at the back, but it's not going to be easy to hold this up, and now the third base is under fire.
Oh, man, and there's only one cannon to stop this. The Motion Part using all of his energy. herO is taking so much damage.
He's going to lose that third base for sure. His own Force Field's working against him as the Roaches hit that third. Goodbye, Nexus. And now he's got the Concave here with his Roaches, and now he's going to go on top of these units. Has he done it? I think he has. The Burrowed Roaches now, again, underneath the Force Fields. He's going to pop those sentries down. And that's going to be the end of this Protoss army. Actually, no, maybe he's going to live a little bit longer until these Roaches get here.
You know, he's got great Blink Micro, as he said before. Is it going to keep him in this game? I don't know, man. He's doing so much damage here to DeParture, and more Roaches streaming across the map.
Those Roaches, you know, a lot of them still at full health even because of all the burrowing they've been doing, regenning so much. And the next wave of Roaches, these Stalkers are so low, I don't think he's going to be able to take a third base anytime soon. He may just die here. With the more Immortals coming out, I think he might be able to survive barely, but the damage has been done.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, the transition is going to be the scary part.
I mean, look at supplies right now. It's 172 to 80. DeParture's got 4 base to 2. He hasn't saturated that 4th base yet, of course. It looks like he's just going to continue with the pressure, especially because he's done so much damage. I think that's a great idea, especially with this many hatcheries out here. He's even got a macro hat, so 5 in total. He's going to try to stomp herO here, and look at how many Roaches are pushing forward. One Immortal cannot help out with that.
Well, there they go. Don't need Burrow movement to walk through this. I think this is just too much. I think this is going to be game.
Oh, look at that. The goop on the Robo. No Immortals coming out for you, buddy.
That's so rough. So many probes going down here. herO loses to DeParture. You all saw it live. That's it.
So much for the bomb. GG.
I'm going home. I'm done with this.
That
Can't
is
believe
so
it.
unreal. DeParture just beat herO. Of course, it is a best of one, a super well-prepared build today. We were talking about it before. Starcraft 2 is getting so competitive once again here in Korea, and these guys are preparing so much for every game in Pro League. And you see it here. herO just playing way too straight up. He just got figured out. DeParture had the counter. He had the answer for this guy. That I said before, there was no chance that this guy was going to win. I was totally wrong. DeParture is going to get MVP ahead, and that is going to help them out so much.
And you know what? With some of the matches you got coming up here, MVP could somehow take the lead. They could possibly take this. They could actually win today. It's totally feasible. And you know, we were saying he has to climb the wall, and I said he should take the back door. Oh, he took the back door in that game.
He found the weaknesses in that wall, man.
He blocked 2 hatcheries with 2 burrowed Zerlings with a burrow rush, 2 Roach Warrens. Looks like it was intentional. Timed that out so perfectly with the +1 like you were talking about.
That had to be intentional.
I think so, man.
That's just a straight up, very, very well practiced build. The timing was literally nearly at the same time. It was like maybe 10, 15 seconds apart.
And for somebody who has had so much trouble in the past and beating one of the best the best Protoss, I think, in the world.
The best Protoss in the world.
One of the best players in the world. He seems pretty modest at this point. I mean, that was incredible. Perfect execution. And this is actually really what Pro League is all about. Best of ones, snipe builds, strategies, preparation. And we are seeing so much of that today.
We're finally seeing it. Just to be totally frank, I feel like a lot of players just haven't prepared correctly for Pro League before this time. You go up against herO, don't just do a 9 pool and try to, snipe him out and get lucky or something with a build under win. Actually prepare a build that he's not expecting that can still do a lot of damage. A great timing, just like you guys saw there. And wow, man, that whole game gave me chills. DeParture, especially his attitude after he won. He's like, yep, no big deal. I just took him out, whatever.
Yeah, like, look at Choya. He's like, that's right, 1 step at a time.
Yeah.
CJ, we're coming for you.
And even a team like MVP that is just not doing that well, I talked about a lot last week. They need to get wins. They need to do well in round 3 in order to make playoffs. They're in that technically 6th spot because there's 2 teams tied for 4th place, but they're very, very close. They're only like 5 points away from tying with KT and Svenu, I think it is, for playoff points and stuff like that. So they need to do well in rounds 3 and 4, and even just getting off to a great start like this against CJ, one of the best teams here in Pro League. It's going to help them out so much.
We talked about this a lot, but when you play against one of the weaker teams, MVP in this case, if you're a team like CJ and you want to be on top, you want to rise to the top. Against the weaker teams, you want to get the best indicator possible. You want to take a 3-0. That's part of the reason SPL was doing so well. They took a 3-0 against Prime. Everybody wants to get a 3-0 against Prime. If you don't get a 3-0 against Prime, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage, for example, So, I think this is, for CJ, I think they're probably panicking a little bit after this one, Wow, we lost herO to DeParture. And I don't know what sort of preparation herO put into this. Maybe he just thought he was going to play a macro game, but it just did not happen.
No, that's exactly what it looks like. It was just straight up herO there. Like, I could have watched any given game that herO played, and I'll be like, oh, same build, same timings even.